Greetings. Today we'll delve into the world of the ancient Egyptian pyramids, particularly those at Giza. These awe-inspiring structures have struck the imagination of humankind for millennia, and it's no surprise that they are deeply connected to the cosmos. The ancient Egyptians, you see, were skilled astronomers, and they incorporated their celestial knowledge into their religious beliefs and architectural designs. In the words of Carl Sagan, "We are all made of star stuff." So, fasten your seatbelts as we embark on a cosmic journey through time, exploring the fascinating connections between the pyramids and the stars and the Sphinx. Welcome to life's biggest questions. Now let's continue, shall we? While the Great Sphinx and the pyramids of Egypt are primarily associated with the ancient Egyptian civilization, there are a number of interesting connections and theories that have been proposed over the years, linking them to various other phenomena or cultures. Ley lines, also known as energy lines or dragon lines, are a concept proposed by some researchers who believe that various ancient sites around the world are connected by invisible pathways of energy. According to this theory, the lines form a global grid, and the points at which they intersect correspond to locations where ancient civilizations built their most significant structures, such as the pyramids, Stonehenge, and other megalithic sites. The idea of ley lines can be traced back to the early 20th century, when British amateur archaeologist Alfred Watkins observed that several ancient sites in England appeared to be aligned in straight lines. Watkins coined the term ley lines and suggested that these alignments were not coincidental, but rather evidence of an ancient system of lines that connected sacred sites. Proponents of ley lines argue that the presence of these alignments suggests an ancient knowledge of Earth energies, and that these lines were used to transmit, store, and harness energy. Some even suggest that the ancient sites built along ley lines could have been used for spiritual or healing purposes, as the energy at these intersections is thought to be stronger. In the context of the Great Sphinx and the pyramids, some ley line proponents argue that these structures are part of the global network of ancient sites connected by these hypothetical energy lines. They point to the alignment of the Giza plateau with other significant archaeological sites, such as Angkor Wat in Cambodia, as evidence of these connections. However, it is important to note that the existence of ley lines remains a highly debated and controversial topic. Critics argue that the alignments are often coincidental, and that the idea of energy lines connecting ancient sites lacks scientific evidence. Many scholars in the fields of archaeology and history do not support the concept of ley lines and consider it pseudoscience. Astronomical alignments have played a significant role in ancient cultures, including the Egyptians, who were skilled astronomers. The Great Sphinx and the pyramids of Giza have been found to exhibit some astronomical alignments and relationships, which some researchers believe could have been intentional. The Sphinx and the spring equinox. The Great Sphinx is an immense limestone statue of a mythical creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human, believed to have been constructed during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BCE. Some researchers suggest that the Sphinx is positioned to face the rising sun on the spring equinox. The spring equinox marks the beginning of the solar year in the ancient Egyptian calendar, and it was a time of rebirth and renewal. The Sphinx's alignment with the spring equinox could have been intended to symbolize the pharaoh's role as the guarantor of cosmic order and the renewal of the land. Orion correlation theory. The three pyramids of Giza, built during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom, have been suggested to represent the three stars forming the belt of the Orion constellation. This theory, known as the Orion correlation theory, was proposed by researchers Robert Bauval and Adrian Gilbert in the 1990s. The Orion constellation held particular significance in ancient Egyptian mythology, as it was associated with the god Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and the souls of deceased pharaohs were believed to join Osiris in the constellation. According to the theory, the layout of the pyramids was intended to ensure the pharaoh's eternal connection with Osiris and their successful journey to the afterlife. Alignment with cardinal points. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built as the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu, is remarkably well aligned with the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west. The pyramid's north-south axis is aligned to within a fraction of a degree of true north, a remarkable feat considering the tools and knowledge available at the time. This alignment is thought to have been achieved by observing the circumpolar stars, which always remain visible above the horizon and move in a circular path around the celestial pole. The precise alignment of the Great Pyramid with the cardinal points could indicate the importance of astronomy in the religious and cultural practices of ancient Egypt. While these astronomical alignments and relationships have been observed in the Sphinx and the pyramids of Giza, it is important to note that the interpretation and significance of these alignments are still debated among researchers. Some scholars argue that the alignments could be coincidental, while others believe they were intentional and had symbolic or practical purposes. Nevertheless, these astronomical connections highlight the sophisticated understanding of celestial phenomena possessed by the ancient Egyptians and their integration of astronomy into their cultural and religious practices. The Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu, exhibits some remarkable mathematical and geometrical properties that have fascinated researchers for centuries. Some of these properties suggest a high level of knowledge and understanding of mathematics and geometry by the ancient Egyptians and might have connections to other ancient civilizations or mathematical systems. Here are a few examples of these properties. Pi and the Great Pyramid. The ratio of the pyramid's perimeter to its height is approximately 2p, 2 times the mathematical constant pi. While it is still debated whether this relationship was intentional or coincidental, it suggests that the builders of the pyramid might have had an understanding of the concept of pi, which is an essential constant in mathematics used to describe the relationship between a circle's circumference and its diameter. The Golden Ratio. The Great Pyramid's dimensions exhibit a relationship that is close to the Golden Ratio, a mathematical proportion often found in nature and art. The Golden Ratio, denoted by the Greek letter phi, is approximately 1.618. If you take the ratio of half the base length to the height of the pyramid, you get a value close to the Golden Ratio. The presence of the Golden Ratio in the pyramid's design suggests a potential awareness of this mathematical concept by the ancient Egyptians. The Pythagorean triangle. The Great Pyramid's cross-section reveals that it forms a Pythagorean triangle, which is a right-angled triangle with sides of length 3, 4, and 5, also known as a 3-4-5 triangle. The sides of this triangle are in the ratio of whole numbers, and the square of the longest side, the hypotenuse, is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. 3 squared plus 4 circumflex 2 equals sign 5 circumflex 2. This relationship is described by the Pythagorean theorem, named after the ancient Greek mathematician Pythagoras, who lived centuries after the construction of the Great Pyramid. It remains unclear whether the ancient Egyptians were aware of the Pythagorean theorem, but the presence of a 3-4-5 triangle in the pyramid's design is intriguing. Geographical connections. The Great Pyramid's location also has some fascinating geographical connections. It is situated at the approximate center of the Earth's landmass, which suggests that the builders may have had knowledge of the Earth's geography. Additionally, the pyramid's north-south axis aligns almost perfectly with true north, which indicates a sophisticated understanding of astronomy and navigation. While these mathematical and geometrical properties of the Great Pyramid are fascinating and may suggest connections to other ancient cultures or mathematical systems, it is essential to approach these findings with caution. Some of the relationships might be coincidental and others might be the result of observational biases. Furthermore, there is still considerable debate among scholars about the true extent of the ancient Egyptians' knowledge of mathematics and geometry, and whether the pyramid's design was intentionally based on these principles. The pyramids, particularly those at Giza, have long been thought to have connections with the stars and constellations due to the ancient Egyptians' advanced knowledge of astronomy. The stars played an important role in their religious beliefs, and they used their understanding of celestial movements to develop their calendar system. Here are some connections between the pyramids and the stars. The Orion correlation theory, proposed by researchers Robert Bauval and Adrian Gilbert in the 1990s, suggests that the layout of the 3 main pyramids of Giza represents the 3 stars that form the belt of the Orion constellation. The ancient Egyptians associated the Orion constellation with Osiris, the god of the afterlife, and the souls of deceased pharaohs were believed to join Osiris in the constellation. According to the theory, the alignment of the pyramids with the stars of Orion's belt was intentional, serving to connect the pharaohs with Osiris and ensure their successful journey to the afterlife. Stellar alignment of the pyramid shafts. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 4 narrow shafts that extend from the king's and queen's chambers towards the exterior of the pyramid. In the 1960s, Egyptologist Alexander Badawi and astronomer Virginia Trimble suggested that these shafts were aligned with specific stars or constellations that held significance in ancient Egyptian beliefs. For example, the southern shaft in the king's chamber is thought to have pointed towards the star Al-Nitak in Orion's belt, while the northern shaft in the same chamber may have pointed towards Tuban, a star in the Draco constellation that was the North Pole star around 2500 BCE. The alignments of these shafts with specific stars could have been intended to help guide the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife. Some researchers have proposed that the pyramids could have been used as astronomical observatories to study the movement of stars and other celestial phenomena. The precise alignment of the Great Pyramid with the cardinal points, north, south, east and west, suggests that the ancient Egyptians had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy and may have used the pyramid's platform for observing the stars. While these connections between the pyramids and the stars highlight the ancient Egyptians' impressive astronomical knowledge and its integration into their religious and cultural practices, it is important to note that some interpretations of these alignments are still debated among researchers. Some argue that the alignments could be coincidental or that the significance of these celestial connections has been overemphasized. Nevertheless, the astronomical connections underscore the importance of the stars in the lives and beliefs of the ancient Egyptians and their incorporation into the design of the monumental pyramids. As we conclude our cosmic voyage, it's remarkable to witness the intricate connections between the ancient Egyptian pyramids and the celestial wonders that fill our night sky. While some interpretations of these alignments are still debated among researchers, one thing is clear. The ancient Egyptians held a profound appreciation for the heavens above. Their understanding of astronomy and its integration into their religious beliefs, calendar systems and architectural marvels underscore the timeless allure of the cosmos. This cosmic connection transcends time and cultures, reminding us that, in the words of Carl Sagan, we are all made of star stuff. I hope you enjoyed our video today. Drop a comment and any suggestions you might have for future videos down below.